The early morning sky bled crimson, casting an eerie glow over the city. A terrifying silence hung over the city, as if the world itself was holding its breath. It was the calm before the devastating storm, a deceptive tranquility that masked the impending chaos. Tensions had been simmering for months, escalating with each passing hour. The air was thick with unease, and the people could feel the weight of the inevitable. Diplomatic efforts had faltered, crumbling under the weight of mistrust and ambition. Leaders who once spoke of peace now only saw enemies. Now the unthinkable was upon them: war. The city braced itself, knowing that life as they knew it was about to change forever. Without warning, the peace was shattered. Explosions erupted and chaos ensued. A deafening roar split the silence as enemy jets screamed across the horizon, their engines a harbinger of destruction. Explosions rocked the city, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. The skyline was quickly obscured by the thick black smoke. The ground trembled beneath the onslaught of heavy artillery. Buildings shook, and the very earth seemed to groan under the relentless barrage. This was no surgical strike, it was the beginning of a full-scale invasion. The city was engulfed in battle, and there was no turning back. On the outskirts of the city, the ground forces clashed. The air was thick with the sound of gunfire and the rumble of engines. Soldiers moved with precision, their faces set with determination. Enemy tanks, steel behemoths bristling with weaponry, rumbled forward, their presence a menacing shadow over the battlefield. The ground shook with each movement, a testament to their immense power, their treads crushing everything in their path. Each tank was a fortress on wheels, an armored giant that seemed unstoppable. The debris beneath them was reduced to dust, a clear sign of their dominance. Spitting fire and fury, they unleashed a barrage of artillery. The battlefield was a cacophony of explosions and smoke, a scene of chaos and destruction. They were met by the defiant roar of defending tanks, dug in and ready to repel the invaders. These defenders, though outnumbered, held their ground with unwavering resolve. Their positions were fortified, their spirits unbroken. Deep beneath the waves, a different kind of battle was unfolding. Submarines, silent hunters in the deep, stalked their prey with a deadly grace. Their sleek forms moved through the water like shadows. The ocean, usually a place of serenity, became a battleground where torpedoes streaked through the water, their paths marked by trails of bubbles. Each torpedo was a harbinger of destruction, leaving trails of deadly bubbles in their wake. The silence of the deep was punctuated by the occasional sonar ping, a reminder of the lurking danger. Each sonar ping, each creak of the hull, could be the prelude to a watery grave. The tension was palpable, every moment a test of nerves and skill. In these underwater duels there was no room for error. Above the carnage, helicopters roared through the sky, their engines a symphony of war. The relentless hum of the rotors was a constant reminder of the chaos below. Attack helicopters, agile and lethal, swooped in low, their sleek forms cutting through the smoke-filled air with precision, unleashing a storm of rockets and gunfire. The ground below erupted in flames and debris, a testament to their devastating power. Transport helicopters, their bellies laden with troops, braved enemy fire to deliver reinforcements to the front lines. Soldiers disembarked swiftly, ready to join the fray. The air was thick with the smell of cordite and the deafening roar of rotors. Smoke and fire mingled, creating a hellish landscape. Enemy warships emerged on the horizon, their guns trained on the city. The threat was imminent, and the defenders prepared for the onslaught. A volley of missiles lit up the sky, each one a fiery messenger of destruction. The night was torn apart by their blazing trails. They were met by a storm of counter-missiles, launched from hidden coastal defenses and warships patrolling the waters. The battle raged on, a deadly dance of fire and steel. The sea boiled as explosions ripped through the air and water. The clash of titans continued, each side vying for dominance in this tempest of fire. As the sun began to set, the battle raged on. The city, once a beacon of hope, was scarred by conflict. Buildings lay in ruins, streets were littered with debris, and the air was heavy with the stench of death. Yet, amidst the destruction, there were pockets of resistance. The outcome of the battle was still uncertain. One thing was clear: this was no ordinary conflict. This was a fight for survival, a desperate struggle against overwhelming odds. The world watched with bated breath, praying for a swift end to the carnage. But the horrors of war had only just begun.